Good evening, everybody. Welcome to round 3 of the ASRC World Sports Car Series. And yeah, one race meeting a month. It comes around quickly, doesn't it? We started off the season in January in Montreal. We were at Imola back in February. And now we start March here at Zandvoort, which is going to be interesting. A track that we don't often see too often here on Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live. But we're going to be seeing it today. Prototypes, GTs, GT1s and GT2s are all going to be participating today. Adam Bath here with Sam Kumo on the cameras. We may be joined by Andrew Woodhouse later on, we hope so. And we should be in for a good race. Qualifying is just finishing at the moment. And we've got a vast array of cars in the field today, as we've just been saying. HPDs, Aston Martins, Ford GTs and the Corvettes as well. Let's run you through the championship standings going into this race meeting, the third race meeting of the season. Cohen Klopman leads the way with Joris Thielen in joint top with him. Then it's Patrick Gispel in third, Jeffrey Koolbergen in fourth, Sam Gunstone in fifth, David Burns sixth, Michael Blake seventh, Ivan Ferrari eighth, Luca Costantini in joint ninth with Fabio Gugelman, and then in 11th it's Daniel Benefield. That's the combined championship standings with the HPDs, the GT1s, GT2s all together. Jeffrey Koolbergen leading the way in the prototypes with Ivan Ferrari 6 points behind him in the prototypes with Costantini in third, Daniel Benefield in fourth, and Edward Lack also in fourth. It's a three-way tie for fourth with Danilo Piazza in fourth as well. GT1s, that consists of the Aston Martins and the Corvettes. Cohen Klopman leading the way there, David Burns second, Michael Blake third, Fabio Gugelman fourth, and Buafia in fifth. And in the GT2s, which are the Ford GTs, Joris Thielen 8 points ahead of Patrick Gispel, Sam Gunstone in third, Ronald Moons fourth, and Rolf Just in fifth position. Park Zandvoort then in the Netherlands hosted a World Touring Car Championship 10 years ago. That's how long it has been. Home to, of course, some great touring car drivers in the past. Tom Coronel racing in the World Touring Car Championship again this year, I do believe. So he's still sticking at it, driving for Royal Motorsports again. And I'll quickly load into the session so I can tell you what's been going on. But yeah, qualifying nearly finished then, just to say that right on cue. Running through the championship standings then, it is Danny Cruz leading the way in qualifying, Ivan Ferrari second, Danilo Piazza in third, Jeffrey Koolbergen fourth, Luca Costantini in fifth, Aldis Pateklis in sixth, Mario Ferrari seventh, Patrick Hilscher in eighth, Edward Lack ninth, and Samuli Sala rounding out the top 10. Small entry here today. Interestingly, don't know, maybe the flavour of the track not to some drivers' liking. I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with this circuit. Rather back in the Race Pro days on the Xbox 360. Haven't really given it too much of a shot on iRacing. The SRTC, I don't think has actually hosted a race around this championship. I did commentate on one back in about 2 years ago now, and the Champions of the Future series that Ash Sutton had a go at. They started off at Zandvoort, but yeah. Qualifying is going to be over in just a few seconds. See who is on a lap. Ivan Ferrari currently P2. Danny Cruz is in the pit lane, so he can't improve on his time. But can Ivan Ferrari snatch the pole position away from him going into the final few corners? No, he cannot. Hard into the wall in turn 12. And that is it for Ivan Ferrari's hopes of getting a strong qualifying position. Jeffrey Koolbergen, he seems to be on a lap at the moment, heading onto the back straight. You can see a DRS point there. I do believe the iRacing Championship Series has been at this circuit once or twice over the last few years. Through this S's section. Into the final few corners. Very hard to get right. That corner there that he goes through, very easy to go wide and into the gravel. Now for the final corner, Koolbergen heading into the pit lane, so he's not going to be able to improve on his time. Edward Lack is the next car that is going at the moment. Good overtaking point in this part of the course. You can see the Tequila Patron livery there on his HPD. Reminds me back of the old American Le Mans series before it merged with IMSA. And now through the final corner. The grip that these HPDs have, and he too is going to be heading into the pits. And I believe that is everyone finished their qualifying runs. So we will run you through the 17 car grid that we've got today. And it will be a 1 hour race with plenty of stuff to keep our eyes on, including of course the pit stops, which will be happening about halfway through the race. Here we go then. Danny Cruz starts on pole position, a time of 1:24.490. It's a pretty quick lap here around Circuit Park Zandvoort, 4.5 kilometres, 13 corners. Ivan Ferrari starting second. He'll be hoping for a good result today to reclaim the championship lead from Jeffrey Kohlbergen in the prototypes. Danilo Piazza starting in third. Fourth is Jeffrey Kohlbergen, our prototype leader. Fifth is Luca Constantini. Sixth is Aldis Pateklis. Seventh, Mario Ferrari. Eighth, Michael Hilscher. Then Edward Lack ninth, and Samuli Sala rounding out the top 10. Into the GT1s. Cohen Klopman on pole position there in his Corvette C6, the only one in the field today. Then it is the two Astons of Fabio Gugelmin and Michael Blake. Then at the back in 14th, 15th, 16th and 17th, the top four in the Ford GTs is Joris Thielen, Tom van Humen, Sam Gunston and Ronald Moons. Conditions here at Zandvoort today. It is 35 degrees Celsius track temperature, 22 degrees air temperature. So a nice spring day here in the Netherlands. Hosted Formula 1 back in the day. The circuit has been modified, of course, since then, just a little bit. It was very quick back in the day. Pretty dangerous as well. Of course, some famous names you will have heard of in the past. Tarzan, of course, the first corner. Of course, Gilles Villeneuve. The late great Gilles Villeneuve, back in the 70s, the late 70s, early 80s, was famously seen dragging his car around with 3 wheels on his wagon after getting a puncture. Very fast and flowing circuit as well. I'll point out to you during the broadcast where we turn off from the faster, older circuit that we had back in the day. Cars now all gridded up. And we will get the safety car going. Can't tell if it's a new safety car this season, of course. New iRacing build. Should be the Porsche now leading the 17 car field around. Nice to see that they still haven't given him a gear stick to change up the gears. He's still going flat out at 64 kilometers per hour. I should say that's 37 miles per hour. Just a note for you viewers that may be tuning into the Ritmatech later today. That of course it's a week break because it is still week 13. It may be Tuesday for us in the UK when the race is on, but yeah, it will still be Monday in America, so they are still on their week 13 break. The next Ritmatech race will be next Tuesday at 2 AM, next Monday 9 PM. Eastern Time on Apex Racing TV, and we had a good race meeting last week at Le Mans. Very good race meeting there. Loads of pit stops. Of course, it was a 90-minute race and it was brilliant. Here today, though, is the ASRC World Sports Car Series, round 3 of the championship, and it is a series that is going to be happening once every second week in the month. So that's probably not best explained too well. Basically, the second week in the month on a Monday, the second Monday in the month, I should say, we will be racing in this championship. And I said earlier at the top of the broadcast, we started off the season at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal. And then last month in February, we were at Imola, the Autodromo Enzo Edina Ferrari. And now we're here at Circuit Park Zandvoort. And we will be joined very momentarily by Conrad Venter, who will be stepping into the commentary box for this race meeting. Also Conrad, who raced in the 24 Hours of Daytona earlier in the season, did quite well. I believe he got a podium. We always usually talk to him about it, so do expect us to bring that back up. Of course, drives in the VW Jetta, which we broadcast a few weeks ago, a special event from the Nürburgring, the King of the Ring, on Apex Racing TV. Not too many drivers did too well in that, but John Roberts was the eventual winner, crowned the King of the Ring. And speaking of John Roberts, he'll be taking part in the BSRTC, which is going to get underway in about 10 days' time. We can't wait for it. New teams, new drivers, all of that usual hype. And the three of us will be back. Me, Alex Simpson, and Andrew Woodhouse will be back in the commentary box for that, for another thrilling season. And going to take the title away from Wojciech Savidovic. I'll tell you what, Apex Racing UK have got a very strong team here today. Starting to notice that the free classes are starting to spread out in preparation for the green lights, which will be coming on in just a few moments. They've just headed through the S's. Hugenholtz, the corner is called there, the S's, and the RE Lyondike bends are coming up. RE Lyondike, a Indy 500 winner. Here we go then, through the final few corners. The safety car there will peel into the pit lane and we'll get the race underway. 1 hour. Round 3 of the ASRC World Sports Car Series. Danny Croce and Ivan Ferrari on the front row of the grid. Green flag is in the air and we are underway here. We're on our way towards Tarzan Bends, the 180-degree hairpin for the first time. Danny Croce doing a good job of holding back Ivan Ferrari going into the first corner. Jeffrey Kohlbergen, a good start from him, championship leader. He needs to keep Ivan Ferrari in his sights. He's already up into third position. It's not been a good start by Luca Constantini. He's trying to get back up the inside of Aulis Pateklis going into Gerald Bolt, the corner there, and now onto the fast and sweeping section for the first time. Quite a few position changes in the HPDs. We'll run you through them at the end of the first lap. In the GT1s and GT2s, Cohen Klopman leading the way there in his Corvette C6. Second is Fabio Gugelman. Michael Blake, I don't think took the start, so it was just those two in the GT1s today. And in the Ford GTs, Joris Thielen leading the way there into Schwalak, the right-hander there, and just getting past the part of the course which went onto the old circuit. Now Joris Thielen, good start from him, already one position up where he started, and second is Sam Gunstone. Conrad Venter, good evening.
Oh, good evening, sir. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. It's the ASRC, Circuit Park Zandvoort. How much experience racing around this circuit? I've just been saying that I haven't had too many races around this circuit, but it's still a good track.
I think the last time I raced the circuit was in the debut season of the Formula Renault, and I haven't been around here since, but it is a track that holds fond memories, as it's the track where I picked up my very first iRacing win in a Stal Mazda.
Brilliant, great to have you here with us. Good battle here going on between Piazza and Jeffrey Kohlbergen. Piazza wants that third place back after losing it at the start. Driving HPDs around this circuit, Conrad, it's not the widest track in the world. Could they have a few issues getting some overtakes done here today?
Yeah, I think that's one of their problems, is going to be the overtaking, but it's also a very bumpy circuit in certain places, so they're going to have to watch themselves, especially coming into that final chicane under braking. That gets really bumpy and it can easily unsettle the car.
Yeah, I've had many experiences of losing the car there. Running through the order then at the end of the first lap. Danny Croce, our pole sitter, leads. Ivan Ferrari in second. Jeffrey Kohlbergen able to get a position in that opening lap up to third. Danilo Piazza down to fourth place. Aulis Pateklis also up a position to fifth. He seems to have dropped just a little bit. Luca Constantini in sixth. Seventh, Michael Hilscher. Eighth, Mario Ferrari. And then ninth is Samuli Sala and Edward Lack rounding out the top 10. It's still Cohen Klopman. He's quite a way ahead of Fabio Gugelman here in the GT1s, and in the GT2s, Joris Thielen leading Sam Gunstone by quite a bit, 1.5 seconds after the opening lap. Danny Croce across the line and to complete the second lap, and The HPD is doing well here. Edward yeah.
They've got a good sized field with the HPDs here. Like you said a little bit earlier, a little bit slack on the GT1s. Although Koen Klopman is no slouch in the GT1, he's currently battling on two fronts, not only in this series but in Sim Races Asia as well. Whereas after missing a few rounds, he's trying to make his way up to the top in the GT1 series and that.
Doing a good job there, definitely, in the SRA GT, the Proto GTs, which run on Saturday mornings here on Apex Racing TV. Danny Crowson nearly losing the car there, and he's starting to invite pressure from Ivan Ferrari right behind him.
Yeah, well, this little straight they've got here. This is one of the overtaking spots, and they're coming down into this braking zone of that chicane that I was talking about. Well, those guys do seem to be running the curves quite well. The exit is a little bit treacherous as well.
Is it easy to pick up a slowdown penalty in that part of the course?
Can't say it's easier or harder than any other corner, any other track. It's really bumpy coming around. You can lose the back end of a car easily.
I was just going through the final corner into Tarzan, then to start lap 4 of the race, and a little look at the inside there by Ivan Ferrari was 0.3 of a second quicker on his last lap. It was Jeffrey Kohlbergen that put in the quickest lap out of the guys at the front on that last tour around the circuit, 1:26.316. The HPDs being so quick and carrying so much grip, is it going to be tough following each other through that long final right-hander?
Well, I suppose if they can follow each other through this carousel, then the final corner shouldn't be too hard. Luckily, it's not such a tight corner, so I don't think they'll have any problems. But yeah, they're quite a bit faster than the GT2s around here. That might shake things up a little bit the moment they start coming across the Fords. The gap to the leading Ford from the leading HPD is already 50 seconds, and they are just coming up to the end of the 4th lap now.
Yeah, it's not a track that is wide, as we were saying just a moment ago. It's going to be difficult for these guys to negotiate the traffic, especially if the cars in front of them are battling. Fortunately for these drivers in the HPDs, as Danny Croce puts 2 wheels into the grass, and that was a new trouser moment, I think. Conrad, as a Ferrari's now going to get a good run here at the final corner.
Yeah, well, he's definitely going to have a look. Yeah, he's up the inside, and he should make the stick, although it is possible to hold your position around the outside. But Ivan Ferrari doing a really good job there, taking the lead from Danny Cruz.
You can see the camber in that Tarzan corner. It does allow for cars to go wheel to wheel around the outside as Ferrari goes a bit deep into the hairpin there. Hugenholtz now through this fast sweeping S's section, and this is going to be a tricky spot when we come to lap the traffic, because it is really one line through here, and if you get offline you can easily find yourself onto the grass and into the Armco barrier, where surprisingly there isn't too much runoff area around the circuit.
Yeah, and I always wonder, the Ford GT is a different kind of animal. This HPD has got so much downforce, and yeah, you got to nose the old GT2 a little bit through some of the corners, and if you in the faster class and you don't take into consideration how the other drivers or in the GT2 class have got to approach a corner, then you can get yourself into trouble as well.
Into the chicane they go again, and now you can see just in 3rd place Jeffrey Kohlbergen starting to get harassed just a little bit by Danilo Piazza. Piazza started 3rd on the grid, lost that position on the opening lap of the race after a good start by our championship leader Kohlbergen, and he'll be eager to try and get the position back. But you can see the gap's just yo-yoing backwards and forwards a bit. You can see the drivers have some advantages around other parts of the circuit compared to others, and so Jeffrey Kohlbergen just doing enough to hold off Danilo Piazza. And the intriguing thing about this, Conrad, is I think these 4 drivers will probably have to wait to the pit stops if they're going to try and get any positions gained, because they don't seem to be making too many advances at the moment.
The only other way is if somebody in front of you makes a mistake or that kind of thing. But overtaking opportunities, especially now the big old tank, I reckon it's going to be harder than it will be in the HPD.
Definitely, yeah, and we saw Ivan Ferrari get the lead off Danny Cruz a few laps ago. He's starting to pull out just a little bit of an advantage. The gap is now 1 second between himself and Danny Cruz in second. Ferrari trying to put a bit of daylight between himself and Jeffrey Kohlbergen in a bid to try and take the championship lead away from him, going away from this race meeting. Of course, the next race will be in April. I can give you the date. It is the 10th of April. There will already be one Formula 1 race in, I do believe, in 2017 by that point. So we'll have plenty to talk about. But here come the HPDs for the final corner. We'll have 2 F1 races in the book. Actually, we'll have completed Australia and China by the time we head to our next race meeting. So it is exciting. Formula 1 is on the horizon. And you just talked about it a moment ago, Conrad. We are starting to get into the 4 GTs, and Ronald Moons is going to be at the mercy of 4 angry HPDs now.
Oh, luckily for the HPDs, they don't have any 4 GTs battling away. But yeah, you got to feel sorry for the 4 GT driver there, which is going to get absolutely swamped. Yeah, you just see how quickly they got past them. I'll be surprised if that cost them any time at all. Oh, 4 GT off the track. Who's that?
Oh, it is Tom Van Humen, car 99. Don't know what happened to him. Oh dear, just looking back on a replay. Oh, he puts 2 wheels into the grass. And it is easy to do. You want to carry as much speed as you can through that right-hander. Brilliant if you get it right. And yeah, just got caught out a little bit there. And yeah, Tom Van Humen losing a bit of time.
Tell you what else he did brilliantly, was keeping it out of the wall.
Yeah. No damage at all picked up there, and you can...
Oh, he's got again.
Oh, yeah, he has.
This time there's an HPD in front, behind him.
And that has allowed Ronald Moons through, so that is Tom Van Humen demoted now to the last running car in the field, but I do believe it is his first race. It is his first race in the ASRC, could be even his first race in the 4 GT, so learning the ropes of the 4 GT out there early on. Tom Van Humen currently in 16th place, 4th in the class. Jeffrey Kohlbergen up to 2nd place. He's just got past Danny Cruz in Tarzan. What happened there? It was a mistake from Danny Cruz. We saw earlier, Conrad, that Danny had been living on the edge, and it looks like he got finally pushed over the cliff, and yeah, losing that 2nd place to Jeffrey Kohlbergen.
Yeah, I wonder if he wasn't just a little bit distracted by the Ford in front of him.
Oh my word! Oh, I was just watching them, watching him and Danilo Piazza lap Sam Gunstone there. That was very close to disaster.
Piazza was nearly into the back of Kullenbergen as well.
Luca Constantini and Aldis Pateklis now battling with each other. They are side by side. This is over 5th and 6th place. Wheel to wheel stuff here. Around the outside goes Constantini, car 983. His blue and red HPD and white is through into 5th place. And Aldis Pateklis, who looked like he'd been able to gain a position there, has to concede defeat. But he is looking back up the inside again into the chicane. A good battle there over 5th and 6th.
Oh, while they're battling away, Michael Hilscher is catching up to them as well.
We'll see what his lap time's like when they come through the final corner. And you can see Pateklis is trying to lap the 4 GT there, the Karcher livery car of Joris Thielen. He is the leader of the 4 GTs. Hilscher last time around, as he goes up the inside into Tarzan of the 4s. The 4 doesn't give him the most room in the world. And Hilscher last time around did a 28.0 compared to the 38 done by Aldis Pateklis. 2 seconds slower. That was all because of the traffic, and now he's right in the sights of car 666 in 6th place. He's got the 6th sense here today, Aldis Pateklis.
All seemed very organised and calm for the HPDs up until the point where they started lapping some 4 GTs. And then it all seemed to kick off.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that's probably going to be their toughest job, lapping the 4 GTs today, because the GT1s are very spread out. Cohen Klopman in his Corvette C6 doing a brilliant job at the moment, 20 seconds ahead of the Italian Fabio Gugelmin in his Aston Martin. So those are the 2 GT1s here today. We do have 11 cars listed in the championship standings. For the GT1s, Cohen Klopman leading the way in that championship here today, of course. David Burns isn't here. Michael Blake is in the session, but he hasn't taken to the track, I don't think, so far today. Fabio Gugelmin, yeah, he's here. He's fourth in the standings, and the likes of Buafia, Bakalega, and Kip Stevens as well, actually. He's only done one race, so he isn't here either today. So hence why we've got a depleted field somewhat in the GT1s.
Is there any race series or league that Kip Stevens doesn't race in?
I know. He just loves iRacing, I think. As Edward Lack has just got past Samuli Salah, going into Tarzan. It's a change of position there. Edward Lack is into 9th. Yeah, I think Kip literally does it all. I don't know if he does the... Does he do the Porsche Cup, which we broadcast on Monday nights on Apex Racing TV? I don't know.
That's an official series. I think Kip will do well to get into the top split of that particular series.
Well, there you go. And Kip Stevens will be back for more in the Formula Renaults tomorrow on Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live. Another race meeting clicks off there.
I can tell you one series that I don't remember seeing his name, and it's the one that I just signed up for, and that's the Porsche Cup, the BSR Porsche Cup, which will be running alongside the BSRTC on Thursday nights with the new season incoming.
That is something we're all very excited about. We saw, of course, the iRacing World Championship today support package on their first race meeting of the season as Piazza finally gets the better of Danny Kroos. Their side-by-side contacts made. Off goes Piazza. Danny Kroos is through into 3rd, but I'm sure he's going to be wanting to do a Joey Logano and running away after the race, because Danilo Piazza will be coming for him.
Yeah, I don't quite know where you're going to put the blame there. I don't think that Danny Kroos wasn't really doing anything untoward, but it just looked like Piazza was taking a bit of an early turn in, maybe not realizing Kroos was as close as he was.
Trying to see if Piazza's got some damage. The car definitely looks a bit unsettled here. Maybe there's a bit of toe knocked out in the rear, but Piazza was in 3rd. Well, he was anyway as they crossed the line, and now he's down in 7th place. So drama in the HPDs. Danny Kroos, who started on the pole position, wasn't going to lose another position, was he? And almost looks as if Piazza may have cut across going into Tarzan. It is a shame, because that was a big battle that was going on. And now Kroos in 3rd place, on his own really. Too far to Jeffrey Kohlbergen, who's just about to lap Fabio Gugelmin in his Aston Martin. Lonely race for him, really. There goes Jeffrey Kohlbergen by the Aston Martin. And Danny Kroos now in 4th, now in 3rd place with Luca Costantini, the next car to bear down on him, but he is quite a bit away at the moment. He is, just looking on the times, 2.7 seconds.
Piazza looks like he's carrying a bit of rear wing damage as well after that crash. You know, at least for him, that makes his race interesting, doesn't it? I always say, there's no fun in qualifying up front. Start from the back and have a little bit of fun. That's exactly what the opportunity he's got now.
That's it. Nothing like starting at the back of the grid and working your way forward. However, of course, these are some of the best sim racing drivers in the business, and it's not like F1 2016 where you can storm your way through the field on a difficulty slightly lower than you usually want and get a good result. But yeah, Danilo Piazza, he is 20 seconds off the leader, 6 seconds to Michael Hilscher, who is the next car ahead. Could use the pit stops to his advantage and possibly gain a bit of time and get a top 5 out of the race. There's still just under 3/4 of an hour to go in this race, so plenty of time.
It's been very interesting to see how many cars we've got. 16 cars on track. Just how quickly the track has rubbed in, and how quickly the dust and pebbles have started appearing offline. You can see them coming down the main straight, picking up little pieces of gravel on the racing line. But once they get onto the dirty side of the track, you see the dust clouds behind the car, and it's really exaggerated.
It is an incredibly dusty track offline going through the final corner. The Ari Lyondike bend, I believe it's called, And you don't want to get too offline there either, Conrad, because you haven't got much time to save it. There's a big tyre wall beckoning if you get offline at that final corner.
And everything seems to have settled down just a little bit. As far as I can see, the closest battle on track at the moment.
I'll look through my timer screens myself, Conrad. Looks like the closest battle we have got on track is between Michael Hilscher and Aldis Patekalis. These two HPDs are pretty close to each other. Hilscher has been lapping quick recently, was another 0.4 of a second quicker than Aldis Patekalis on that last lap. Gained, of course, a huge amount when as he goes wide through the chicane. That puts pay to that. Yeah, that's allowed Aldis Patekalis to scamper away just a little bit now.
Oh, good catch by a cameraman as well. That Piazza's last lap was 1 minute 26.8, which was just about on par with Danny Cruz and Jeffrey Kullenbergen as well. So it doesn't look like the damage that he's carrying on that car is costing him too much. He just crossed the line and he was 0.9 of a second quicker than Michael Hilscher as well.
Yeah, that is a very good lap time by Piazza, and at that rate you'll be with Hilscher in no time. 2 seconds taken out of him now, down to 4 seconds. It was 6 seconds just when we were talking about it a moment ago, and it shows you the speed that he's taking out. It is a shame by Danilo Piazza. He was third fastest in practice earlier with a 1:25.2. Was 0.8 of a second slower than that in qualifying, 1:26.0. And now he's got to work his way through the field where he could have been in second place or maybe even higher than that come the race's end. Never know though.
I wonder, he might just get one of his little virtual mechanics in the pit stop to knock the other side of that rear wing a little bit in the wrong direction as well. Might improve the handling even further.
Yeah. In fact, this is the first time today I've actually seen the new iRacing build. You had a go over the last week on it, Conrad. How's it handling out there? Or anything new?
A couple of these new cars, such as the Corvette, and I assume the Aston Martin as well, has got this new dyno from the Porsche on it, and it certainly threw things into a little bit of a disarray for the 12 hours of Sebring, but generally, yeah, it's like any other new build. We got a new oval track and a little bit of graphics update and those kind of things. So I think everybody's just really keen on dirt being released.
Yeah, the dirt is coming. We'll know soon. We're looking forward to that, and I wonder if there'll be a BSR Dirt series that could be on our way soon. That'd be brilliant to watch. And yeah, just before we saw some of the chaos ensuing, we were just talking about the iRacing World Championship. Of course, they had a support series package on Saturdays. On Saturday before the race, they had the Porsches and something else. Was it a GTC?
The Formula Renault, isn't it? Must have been the Formula Renaults. It looks like we've lost Mr. Adam Barthe for a second. Coming back to the action, everything really a little bit spread out, no close battles. I think the only thing we can really look forward to for the time being is Daniele Piazza trying to catch up to Michael Hilscher to salvage some of his race after that contact he had with Danny Cruz earlier on. Kunt Klokman in the GT1s is about 45 seconds clear of Fabio there in second place in the GT1s, and in the GT2s we still got Joris Thielen leading the way there, about 7 seconds instead of Sam Gunston. Daniele Piazza still making inroads on Michael Hilscher. That gap is down to just about 3 seconds. Got a couple of cars in the pits as well. Koen Klopman deciding to make his way into the pits in the leading GT1. Gareth Thielen is in the pits as well. And this will give us a good opportunity to see how long the pit stop sequence is going to take for these cars, and maybe give us a better idea of what the HPDs is going to do as the race goes on. Oh, and Koen Klopman is going to come out right in the battle for, was that 8th, 9th and 10th place in the HPDs. I think he might have hoped to get a bit more clean air.
Oh, sorry, comrade, there's a off is Aldous Pateklis. Just going into the right-hander. He was right on the rear of two of the cars, Piazza and Hilscher, and goes off for a quick trip through the gravel, and maybe that might be a good sign to him that he might need to take a pit stop at the end of this lap.
Yeah, I've just seen a couple of cars coming into the pits. Like I said, Koen Klopman, he's been into the pits, the leading GT1. Looks like he even came out of the pits and before Fabio and could get past them in the second GT1. Joris Thielen, who was leading in the 4 GTs, he's made his way into the pits and he's emerged in 3rd place.
Well, Aldous Pateklis looking very ragged there, just going through the final few corners. He's out though, so he's carrying on. Oh, off is Danny Cruz. What's happened here? Going into, he puts a wheel on the curve and a wheel in the dust, and that part of the circuit you're going to pay the price, and hard into the wall he goes, and that could be serious damage for him because he is towed straight back to the pits.
I'm surprised he's done that.
It's going to be a very long tow as well because he's in the first sector. As more pit stops happen, Edward Lack is in the pits. Also in the pits is Sam Gunston, and he was in second in the Fords in the 4 GTs as well.
Yeah, it looks like it's about a 35-second stop for the GT2s as they come through the pit stop phase. Obviously, Danny Cruz he's not going to be out anytime soon after that accident and tow that he's taken back to the pits.
Danny Cruz saying that he had no race setup. The car was literally undrivable, and there you go.
It's so undrivable you stuck it on pole.
Well, there you go. Yeah, it was good for qualifying, but in the race, different animal altogether. Maybe that's why you don't see F1 cars doing their qualifying setups in the race. But yeah, that's Danny Cruz done for the day. He'll be back next week. Next, another car's just come into the pits. It is Aldous Pateklis. He's finally decided to come in. He is the 1, 2, 3. He's the third of the HPDs in. He's dragging a cone with him.
Oh, you might want to get rid of that. That might have explained some of his handling issues in the previous couple of laps. But Edward Lack has been through the pit stop phase. It took him just about 32.5 seconds from pit in to pit out. And now we can start having a little look at gaps towards the front and seeing when they start coming in.
Yeah, see what Ivan Ferrari is going to do. He's just heading through the final corner now. Out wide, he is going to stay out for another lap. Aldous Pateklis, very slow stop actually, for 29.6 seconds. Maybe a bit of damage or something to repair to the car, or maybe a too fast entering pit lane, or something like that, or missed the pit box because he was good, 15 seconds slower than Edward Lack, and that has demoted him to the back of the HPDs for now. What could be the reason for that extra long stop, Conrad? Could he have taken tyres or something?
I don't know. Oh, yeah, it's very difficult. Pit lane entry, perhaps.
Yeah, it could be that.
That's the best guess.
Well, it's definitely hurt Pateklis dearly there. He's going to And with car 666, you could say the devil is in the detail, and speeding on pit entry could be his nightmare on 34th Street or whatever it's called. But yeah, enough of that. He's now down in 9th place in the HPDs. Bill got the top 7 all to come into the pits, from Ivan Ferrari in the lead all the way down to Samuli Sala in 7th. Ivan Ferrari just having to negotiate a whole load of traffic here. He's got the Aston Martins and the 4GTs hanging it around the outside of that final corner. Possibly now would have been a good opportunity to pit, but he's now disposing of the 4GT of Ronald Moons again, who finds himself leading the 4GTs. However, he is yet to make a pit stop in this race.
Just coming back to Particular's pit stop, he did not speed on pit entry. He most certainly was going slow enough. I didn't see the car going up on the jacks either, so it wasn't a pit entry or pit speeding penalty. It wasn't tires. I don't know.
Is there an iRacing bug lingering about somewhere?
No, I think he might have changed his underwear after a couple of those brown trouser moments. So that's the only thing I can put it down to.
Or maybe there was a postman at the door. That's one of my excuses in the past. But 20 to 9 UK time, 20 to 10 in Europe. Yeah, probably not the reason there. But yeah, Aldous Particularist back out again as Ivan Ferrari now about to lap Aldous Particularist, I should say. So shows you how much time he lost there. But Ferrari still yet to serve his trip to the pits. Just under half an hour to go then in round 3 of the ASRC Sport World Sports Car Series here on Apex Racing TV. Adam Baffy with Conrad Venter and Sam Kumo on the cameras here. Glad you're spending your Monday night with us and not watching any of the football that's going on at the moment. Yeah, so Michael Hilscher and Danilo Piazza are having a battle. And what has happened here, because there has been a change in position. Was it an off? Yes, it was. It was a spin for Danilo Piazza. Let's see what happened then. Maybe the damage might have caused this. Yeah, half spin from Piazza. Gets going again, but it is enough of a mistake to allow Michael Hilscher through into 4th place. And guy on the move, Hilscher, at 4 positions, the highest moving driver in the field, Conrad.
Yeah, there might be a couple of people. Actually, if Hilscher pits now, he is going to lose places to Piazza, obviously, Mario Ferrari, but he'll come out in front of Samuel Sala, who's yet to pit, and he can find himself in a bit of a clean area if he does so. If he comes under any more pressure from Piazza here, then it might well be worth jumping into the pits. Meantime, Mario Ferrari is into the pits for his pit stop.
Yeah, Mario Ferrari in. Meanwhile, Ivan Ferrari has just negotiated all his Particularist finally to put a lap on him. Did take his time. Going for the final corner to start lap 23. Nearly was a mistake there. Was that what you were looking at as well, Conrad?
I was just looking at Michael Hilscher, yeah, getting a bit out of shape. But yeah, if I was him, I'd jump in the pits now, because Piazza's obviously got a bit of pace on him, and he's going to be pressured from behind, and he's coming up to a Sam Gunston in the 4GT. He's finding himself between a rock and a hard place.
Oh, was a little look on the inside into the penultimate corner. This might give him the run. What does the 4GT do? He tries his best to get out of the way. Can see all the dust that's getting kicked up there as well. Through the final corner, it looks like Hilscher's taking the trip to the pits. And straight on through goes Piazza into 4th.
Oh yeah, I'm going to sign myself up. Race engineer sitting right here in the commentary booth.
There we go. That's why we've got you here, Conrad. I've only won one BSR Kia World Series race. Don't think that really qualifies me for anything. But yeah, and I got a 2nd place. There you go.
Well, I wouldn't be so sure. If you look at out of the hundreds of people that's competed in the various Kia series that we've covered, it's the winners' pool is fairly small. So,
there you go.
Yeah, boasting with a win there is it's an accolade that you can be proud of.
Oh yeah, well, I presume you've won in the Jettas along the way. So I think, of course, that's not a BSR series, but we do have a claim here in the Apex commentary box. I know Andrew Woodhouse has won a BSRTC race as well. But yes, Michael Hilscher emerges from the pits. Where is he going to be? That is the question. He's just ahead of Edward Lack, which is interesting as we've now got a nice 3-car battle going on here. As into the pits comes Jeffrey Kohlberg, championship leader in the HPDs. Will he be leading it going away from here though to the next race meeting at Silverstone? He was only 6 points ahead of Ivan Ferrari going into this race meeting. And with Ferrari leading the way, could that deficit be reduced?
As we were chatting away as well about the Kias, Michael Hilscher went through his pit stop. It was a 51-second stop for him.
Wow. Well, yeah,
and he
51
definitely took tyres. He went up on the jacks and took tyres. So, yeah, I think they can get away with running an hour without taking tyres in the HPD. I'm pretty sure of that. So he's going to give up that place to Piazza quite easily.
Well, yeah, I was going to say that I didn't think he was battling with Edward Lack and Pateklis when before he made his pit stop. Yeah, 51-second pit lane time, 33-second pit stop time. We've seen a broad range of pit stops here today. 14 seconds for Edward Lack, all the way up to 33 seconds for Michael Hilscher. As into the pits comes our race leader, Ivan Ferrari. Finally comes in. I don't think it's going to be enough for Jeffrey Kohlberg to try and take the lead back. Where's Costantini? He is currently second place on the track. He's just heading through the final corner now. And is he going to take a trip to the pits? No, he isn't. So he's going to become our race leader. And we'll see if Ivan Ferrari takes any tyres during this pit stop. Like it's just going to be fuel for him.
Yeah, it's 10, 11 seconds now.
Yeah, 15, 16, 17. Makes you wonder how quick Edward Lack's stop was and has he got enough fuel to get to the end. Away goes Ferrari then, 18.5 seconds, emerges just behind Danilo Piazza. So that's Piazza through into second, but of course those two in front of him are yet to make their pit stops.
One thing counting in Michael Hilscher's favour is he's got those fresh tyres now. So for Edward Lack and just behind him, I'm assuming Lack didn't take tyres with a 15-second stop, but yeah, Hilscher will be enjoying a little bit more grip than his HPD counterpart.
Oh, good battle between Edward Lack and Pateklis. They're going at it going into the final sector of the lap. Edward Lack in that Tequila Patron liveried HPD, and Aldous Pateklis in his red and white HPD as well, going through the final corner onto the pit straight. Is he going to try and make it 3 wide as they negotiate our GT1 leader, Cohen Klopman? Is he going to go up the inside into Tarzan? He does, but looks like Edward Lack has the position and cuts across on the exit of the first corner as well. So Edward Lack able to hold on to his 7th place. Good race so far from him, up 7 positions, as Luca Constantini now comes into the bits.
And we've only got the 2 cars still to 4 cars still to make the pit stop. Daniele Piazza is still to make a pit stop. So is Sanil Sala, and then a couple of the 4 GTs and Tom van Hiemen and Ronald Moons.
Yeah, 3 cars out of the race. Michael Blake, well, he didn't even take the start, so do we even count him as a runner? As Danilo Piazza also comes into the pit, so those 2 now in. Danny Cruz, we saw how he had exited the race, and Sam Gunstone may have had a connection issue because he disappeared. I think he might be back in the session now, but yeah, we've got 14 cars officially still on the circuit at the moment. As Danilo Piazza, how long is his pit stop going to be? He's been in the pits now for a good 17, 18, 20 seconds now. A long
Here
one.
we go. That's going to be interesting with Michael Hilscher as well then.
Still there, he's going now. Piazza, where is all the other
Hilscher's coming
HPDs?
over the corner.
Samuel Salah has just come into the pits as well, so that'll be another position for Hilscher. He's up to 5th. How far is he going to be behind Piazza? The gap is 5 seconds, and with fresh tyres and 20 minutes to go in the race, it isn't too inconceivable that Michael Hilscher could still snatch this 4th place yet.
Edward Lack is going to be running. Oh, he's just been into the pits. I was just about to say there was a sole car out there in the HPDs not to have pitted, and his lap times were dropping off quite a bit in comparison to that of Hilscher's.
Yeah, him and Pateklis now going to be battling for the rest of the race in the final 20 minutes or so that's still left. And as you were just saying a few minutes ago, Connor, we're still expecting Tom Van Humen and Ronald Moons to make their trips to the pits. Whilst they're still, even though they're still yet to make a visit to the pits, we're running through the order then. Ivan Ferrari leads, started second on the grid, got to the lead, as up the inside goes Pateklis, locks the brakes, nearly goes into Edward Lack, who gives him as much room as he can. And yeah, that was nearly disaster for those two. Ivan Ferrari leading, Kohlberg in second, Constantini in third, fourth Danilo Piazza, and then Michael Hilscher in fifth as Pateklis and Edward Lack continue their battle yet again. Going through the final corner, this might be a good opportunity here, Conrad.
Oh, I just see all the rubbish being kicked up off the track.
Oh my word!
Oh, Lack has got a GT1 in his way.
And there you go. Go through goes all this Pateklis. He finally got it done. Edward Lack has to concede defeat there. He's down to 7th place. All this Pateklis back to where he's starting.
Yeah, he's right back to where he started in 6th place. Yeah, a couple of cars. Everybody doing fairly well, improving mostly on where they started. The only people not to have done so is Piazza, who's running 4th place in HPD. He's 1 place down from his starting position. Mario Ferrari, the same. He's currently running in 8th. Apart from that, everybody has made gains.
Yeah, biggest loser, definitely Danny Gross. However, he is out of the race. Down 15 positions, started on the pole. We did hear from him earlier, said he was running a race, qualifying setup in a race, and then the car was undrivable. And yeah, putting a race fuel in a qualifying setup, Conrad, I don't think will be the best handling car in the world.
No, but like you said, these are some of the best sim races on the service. So the car is so finely balanced for either qualifying or a race. So yeah, unsettling the setup with a potload full of fuel in it is it's not bound to work well. Oh, it was like running very deep in turn 1, barely holding on to it. I think he's pushing really hard to try and catch up to Pateklis.
See how quick these guys are running here. Despite Pateklis starting to pull away a little bit, you can see all the dust and gravel and marbles that are getting kicked up around this circuit here today. And Ferrari 14 seconds ahead of Jeffrey Kohlberg, and now then it's 8 seconds back to Constantini in third, 23 seconds back to Danilo Piazza in fourth. Believe it or not, the top 4 were separated by about 1.5 seconds in the early stages of the race. Michael Hilscher in fifth, 3 seconds ahead of Aldis Pateklis, and then Edward Lack in 7th, Mario Ferrari in 8th, Samuel Sala in 9th, and then Cohen Klopman, he has got a 1 minute and 22 second lead over Fabio Gugelmin in the GT1s, and Joris Thielen is a 18 second lead over Tom Van Humen. However, Humen is yet to make a pit stop in this race, same for Ronald Moons as well, who is 4 seconds behind Van Humen in second and third in the GT2s.
Am I right in thinking that this series has a very unique sort of penalty system in terms of off tracks?
Yeah, I can explain it if you. I can explain it. Yeah, yeah. There is an incidence limit of. Oh, now you're talking. There is an incident limit.
That's 8.
It's 8 incidents, and once you hit that 8 incident limit, you will start to lose points for each incident you get after that. I believe it's a point off for each incident that you get, and it is a good deterrent of the drivers, because not only will it affect your race here, but it will affect the championship as well. And I'm sure that Ivan Ferrari will be trying to get as little off tracks as he can, so he can try and take that lead away from Jeffrey Kohlberg.
I see. I like that system. It seems like it's a very well thought out system, and it's something I definitely approve of.
wonder if we could ever see it in the PSRTC. It would save the amount of disqualifications that we get, but then again, that does make it quite entertaining, watching the drivers dice with disqualification in the races that we've had, especially in the MX-5s that we've had during the winter series.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a similar sort of system in the Club 73 series, where we've got an incident limit, and then for every point every incident we go over it, you lose a point up to a certain level. I think it's 10 incidents over the limit, and then a disqualification steps in. So you are given a good amount of grace.
Probably one, Michael.
Sorry, and it also it promotes cleaner driving and keeping within the track limits, and you get if you manage to run a clean race, you get a couple of extra bonus points as well, and I think it really helps the series if something like this is implemented.
Probably what Michael Blake is doing at the moment. He's the ASRC steward, I believe, here today. Probably making sure that the drivers are behaving themselves. As Michael Hill-Scher, despite taking the tyres on the pit stop, Conrad, he's now having to fend off Aldis Pateklis, who seems to have found a run of form here. He's all over him as we try to lap Tom Van Hoomen here.
I wonder if he made a mistake somewhere, because he did have a 2.5 second lead. What was his last lap time? 1:27.5 compared to 1:26.7. The fastest laps are pretty similar. We'll see what the lap times are when they come across the line this time around. But yeah, particularly, there's been a bit of a charge since the pit stops, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's seemed to have definitely found a good run of form here after that long pit stop, where he spent 29 seconds. Of course, Hill-Scher was in the pits for a long time as well. Samuel Sala has also been into the pits for a second time. So problems for him. Maybe he didn't put the fuel in, or something has gone wrong with the car. But this is a good battle we've got on track at the moment between Aldis Pateklis and Michael Hill-Scher. The battle for a spot inside the top 5 here.
Yeah, Hill-Scher's last lap was a 1:29.1 compared to Pateklis' 1:27.8. So he must have made a mistake somewhere, come across a bit of traffic that didn't work out for him. But again, like we said at the beginning of the broadcast, this is a very, very difficult track to overtake at. And if you come across someone that's a second to a second and a half slower than you, that's in front of you, if they put the car in the right place, it's just not going to happen unless they make a mistake.
Your best chance really is coming out of the final corner and maybe getting a bit of slipstream down the front straight into Tarzan, and then you might be able to get the move done as Hill-Scher able to stay within the white lines this time going through the penultimate corner. We've seen many cars today putting two wheels into the dirt. As a Cohen Klopman gone, he's lost it actually. Our GT1 leader, what's happened here? Oh, he backs it into the corner, and he gets hit as well by is that the GT2 leader? Yeah, it is, Joris Thielen. So the two leaders in the GT1s and GT2s coming together.
Yeah.
And I think they may have picked up a few incident points there from that little bit of a debacle. It'd be interesting to see if any of those guys have picked up any damage that would require them to make a second visit to the pits, possibly even for Thielen, because he definitely hit that Corvette with quite a whack.
Yeah, I didn't quite know what to make of that. Because both of them, especially Koen Klopman, had the race in the bag. All he had to do was make it to the finish. He's across the start-finish line though.
Still in the
lead. It doesn't look like the cornering is going all that well for him, but I mean, he's got a good-sized gap. What is it right now? 1 minute and 38 seconds. What have we got left? Just 12.5 minutes. He should be able to nurse it home, unless he's got a meatball flag on that Corvette, which might put that race win in jeopardy.
No, you could probably set the car to autopilot and still make it back ahead of Fabio Guzman. As up the inside there goes, is that our race leader? That was Luca Costantini who's in third place. So he's just putting a lap there on our GT1 leader. See if the battle's still raging between Pateklis and Hill-Scher. Still looks pretty close between these two. Last time around, Hill show 127.3, 127.7 for Pateklis, so maybe a small mistake somewhere around the lap, but it looks like he's right back on him here. HPD is now on lap 33. Fastest lap of the race as well from Danilo Piazza on that last lap, 25.8, which I believe is not too far off the qualifying pace we were doing. We're doing 24.4s in qualifying actually, so that shows you the speed these HPDs have when you put qualifying fuel in the car.
What has that been all race long? About 2 seconds a lap, second and a half, 2 seconds a lap they've been losing just by adding the race fuel.
Definitely, yeah, and quite remarkable really. Didn't expect it to be that much, as here they come then, Pateklis versus Hilscher again.
Did we catch Samuel Sala losing it? Or?
Oh, he's been in the pits a second time, I think. I don't think he made
a
mistake.
you did mention.
I don't think he made a mistake because his pit lane time and pit stop time are not the same, so maybe he just made a trip to the pits for a problem. I can go back and have a look for you if you want.
That's right. I just saw him drop a spot down my timing screen, and it just caught my eye there.
Okay. Just going back through this. Oh, he did go off actually. Might have picked up a meatball flag for that. Oh, it was unfortunate as well. But it's so far back, I don't think we'll be able to get a replay of it. But yeah, Samuel Sala probably picking up a meatball flag, and that's why he's back in the pits, probably repairing a bit of repairable damage that he needs. And then 10 minutes to go in this race. Pateklis still versus Hilscher. He's got a good run through here actually. Tom Coronel did try and get up the inside of... Oh, well, but more than a moment as he's now coming to the outside. Can he pull this off? Hilscher will throw it up the inside into this left-hander and now onto the back straight towards the chicane. This could be his best opportunity. He's alongside now, Conrad.
Yeah, how long ago is it that we spoke about putting your car in the right place and keeping hold of the spot even if you're the slower car, and that's exactly what Hilscher has been managing to do.
Well, he tried it there, but he just couldn't get up the inside. Oh, he's all over the place. He's into the dirt again, putting more gravel and stones and dust onto the track, and that's allowed Hilscher to pull away just a little bit here again, and now he's going to have to use this next lap. Goes up to the rear of that HPD again.
Yeah, it seems like a while ago now that we were speaking about how difficult it is to pass around here, and the proof is right there. I mean, Pateklis has obviously got no issues getting up to the back of Hilscher, but getting past them is a whole different story.
Catching is one thing, passing is most definitely another, as they say here. And yeah, Aldous Pateklis struggling somewhat to try and get this 5th place off Michael Hilscher. Very good through that long right-hander at the carousel. And as I close a bit of ground up again on Hilscher. 126.0 last time around as well for Danilo Piazza. So he's still putting in the laps, despite how late we are into the race. Inside the final 10 minutes now, just under 8.5 minutes to go here.
It's a pity Piazza had such a long pit stop. You take that 10 seconds deficit that he's got, or 11.5 second deficit that he's got to 3rd place at the moment. That's the 10 of those seconds are spent in the pits.
Yeah, if you take the 10 seconds off, they would pretty much be nose to tail, and then we would have a battle on our hands for the final spot on the podium, which would have been between Costantini and Danilo Piazza, 2 Italians. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Italians in the field today. Even Ferrari leading the way as Pateklis loses it into Tarzan, and that is the end of the battle. And will Edward Lack crash into him as well? Where's Lack? He's just coming into the first corner now. Oh, he'll lose another position. Mario Ferrari also benefits. Well, Pateklis was in pursuit, and just looking back on the replay, he locked the front, tried to catch it, and half spun the car and has to get back going again.
Oh yeah, it's just, I know what it feels like. You know, you have a spin like that and you so keen to get the car back on the track and get going again. And they just make a few more little mistakes. And it took him 2 or 3 goes there to get going again.
And to wait.
Just have a little look. Ferrari's last lap was a 127.2. Edward Lax was a 127.4. Ridiculous. Before that mistake he made was a 126.6. So this could shape up to give us a nice little battle for the final 6.5 minutes of the race.
Definitely, yeah. Pateklis, he'll be trying to get those positions off Mario Ferrari and Edward Lack in front of him. Is he able to regain his composure after that off in Tarzan, which we're just coming up to again here on lap 37 of the race. 4 minutes just completed now. The hour race.
So Mario Ferrari just running a little bit deep into turn 1. He'll be happy that he gained that spot from Particulars, but I think what stressed me, certainly would stress me out a little bit. So I would have been quite happy sitting where Ferrari was at the time, trying to put Edward Lack under a little bit of pressure, and all of a sudden he's in a little bit of a sandwich. Oh, there's a Ford GT in the way.
Our GT2 leader, Cohen Klopman, as now Pateklis has got a real opportunity here going into the right-hander. And now for his curving right and hard on the brakes again. Got a good run, but Ferrari has got a good run on the exit too. So he can cover off the inside going into this left-hander onto the back straight. And Pateklis may have to wait again to exit the final corner going into Tarzan to try and get that moved up. Over the curbs, the chicane, trying to get the drive on the exit, and I tell you what, they're closing in on Edward Lack here. Edward Lack, who has definitely got the quickest pit stop out of anyone in the field today, 14.9 seconds. Could that come back to haunt him later in the race? Has he got enough fuel?
Ridiculous is on the edge coming into that final corner. See, he's trying really hard to be as close as he possibly can.
Oh! There's a Pateklis pretty much runs Ronald Moons off the road in his pursuit to try and lap him. That loses him a bit of time to Mario Ferrari. Ferrari now trying his best, but he has a wide entry into the hairpin. They're trying to go for the late exit, and that's just ruined his hopes of trying to get onto the back of Edward Lack here, because Pateklis is now on the rear of him. Into the carousel.
There's another Ford GT.
Oh my word! Up the inside, there's Edward Lack. Ferrari trying to go around the outside. Oh, and Pateklis has to get out of it in avoidance. And up the inside goes Ferrari. Up the inside he goes into 6th place. And through he goes. And Pateklis, I don't know how he didn't manage to hit Ferrari there when they were lapping that traffic of Tom Van Hoomen. But I was very close to all 3 of them getting knocked out of the race there.
Yeah, I thought he gave him just a little love tap, nothing to put anybody out of a race. Oh, you gotta think that all this is feeling a little bit hot under that virtual helmet of his.
Oh, Ferrari's made a mistake going into the penultimate corner. This is just going to bottle things up even more. Pateklis finally wants to get an overtake done here. Being stuck behind someone for the whole race, it seems, as he's now going wheel to wheel with Edward Lack down the front straight. 3 minutes to go here. Who's going to be latest on the brakes? It is Pateklis. Locks up. They rub wheels going into Tarzan. And he's just given Lack enough space. He nearly forces him onto the gravel. And Aldous Pateklis finally gets the position and is up into 7th place.
That is brilliant to watch. This is Samuel Solo. He's back out of the pits after his very lengthy pit stop. He was in there for about 9 minutes.
I was worried then for a moment that was even Ferrari, but I believe they are teammates. Wow, what a battle that was. Can Pateklis do anything though about Mario Ferrari inside the final 2.5 minutes? And don't rule out Edward Lack. He was just having a little look up the inside there into the hard right there. Halfway around this 4.3 kilometre circuit.
Oh, he'll definitely get another opportunity if Pateklis and I have completely lost. Mario Ferrari gets into a little bit of a scrap in the final. I guess they've got about 2 laps left.
Yeah, so 1 minute 24 lap. Well, they were doing that in qualifying. It's 126 in the race, 125s, and it is. And we've got 2 minutes to go in the race, so not too long left for Aldous Pataklis to try and take the position away from Ferrari. Ferrari moving across actually to try and disturb the slipstream. Even though it's not the longest straight in the world, is it? I don't think you'd be picking up much of a tow here. And Pataklis just. He's just 4/10 of a second behind, and look at the speedy gains through this opening sector. Closes right up going into the hairpin, and now they're coming up to lap more traffic, and we saw how chaotic it was when they were lapping the Ford GT. They've now got the second place Aston in the GT1s of Fabio Gugelmin to deal with.
Well, luckily the GT1 is slightly quicker than the Ford GT, well, through these twisty bits. So it took them a little bit longer to catch up with the Aston Martin. Aston Martin thinking better of it, backing out. Smart move as well.
You can see that the HPDs and the Astons have got the same livery as well. Well, Mario Ferrari's has anyway, so maybe there might have been a word over the radio to try and get them out of the way. And now Pataklis all over the curbs on the inside there, trying to gain any advantage he can to try and get past Mario Ferrari inside the final 30 seconds. Where is our race leader?
Hey, he's just coming through the final chicane down to the second to last corner. So he's going to cross the start finish, and he is going to have to do another lap as he goes a little bit off track. So this trio that we've been following is going to have essentially 2 laps left for them now.
7 seconds to go, yeah, as Ferrari crosses the line, so they're going to get 2 more laps at it. And this is the this is the first of them. I think Jeffrey Kohlbergen's off. Yeah, Jeffrey Kohlbergen's off, and it's allowed Ronald Moons through into second place. What's happened here then? Into the penultimate corner, our championship leader Kohlbergen. Oh, loses it on entry. Does anyone collect him? Oh, Dick. Van Hooman has to take evasive action, and it allows Ronald Moons through into second place, and Kohlbergen doesn't lose any positions out of that, but minor scare for him late on.
The HPD party is just catching up to Koen Klopman. Wow, well, he wouldn't have expected that at all. Mario Ferrari sticking it up the inside, going into that chicane.
Oh, this is brilliant. These 3 battling here. And Pataklis trying to get past Mario Ferrari in the closing stages of the race. Going through the final corner. They're going to be starting their final lap of the race now. And say what, Mario Ferrari is exceptionally good there. Aldous Pataklis maybe picking up a bit of dirty air in that HPD as well. Onto the final lap they go, and we'll see what happens for them in a minute. Meanwhile, Ivan Ferrari comes through the final corner and is going to take the checkered flag and win round 3 of the ASRC World Sports Car Series here at Zandvoort. Jeffrey Kohlbergen should get second place. Luca Constantini should round out the podium. And where is our 4 GTs? They are just in that group as well. Go for the final few corners there. Meanwhile, what's happening between Ferrari and Pataklis as Jeffrey Kohlbergen takes second place? It is on here. Here comes Pataklis. Locks the brakes. Wow. That was very close to disaster there. And he hits Edward Lack. No. He's hit Edward Lack. And that overtake was lacking cleanness. And
I think Edward might take a little bit of an exception to that little statement, because it was ridiculous trying to get on the power and just car coming around. I don't think there's much that Lack could have done about that. He's still trying to get going. Is it gone again?
Edward Lack was lacking room on the track, you could say. And looks like it. Pataklis coming across. He's going to take 7th place in the end. Couldn't get past Mario Ferrari in the end. Koen Klopman is going to come through and take victory in the GT1s. Was never in doubt, really. So far ahead in qualifying, and so far ahead in the race as he does a celebratory flash of the lights. Second is going to be Fabio Gugelmin. He's been lapped by him. That's how far ahead Koen Klopman was. And Edward Lack could have come across on an 8th place when it could have been 7th or maybe even 6th. When those two were battling. Shame for him, really. Could have been higher, and amazing, with such a short pit stop, he was able to get to the end. His stint in that final... His final stint was 25 seconds, and cars in front of him had done less than that, and had done superiorly long pit stops, so quite remarkable. Well, Conrad, it was a slow burner, but came alive towards the end.
Yeah, it certainly was a little bit of a, well, I wouldn't say it was a slow burner in the beginning. So it was kind of processional until the HPDs caught up with the 4 GTs, and from there on, it was pretty good. There was always something to look at, and Mario Ferrari and his two musketeers definitely gave us something to talk about towards the end of the race.
Well, we'll run you through the finishing order then. Ethan Ferrari takes the win. Jeffrey Kohlberg in championship leader 2nd. Will that have changed the championship order at all? 3rd, rounding out the podium, Luca Costantini. 4th, Danilo Piazza. 5th, Michael Hilscher. 6th for Mario Ferrari. 7th, Aldis Paterklis. And rounding out the HPDs, it is Edward Lack in the end. Cohen Klopman takes the GT1 lead ahead of Fabio Gugelmin. And then it is the GT2 win for Joris Thielen. Ronald Moon 2nd. 3rd for Tom Van Humen in his first race in the series. Samuel Sala 14th overall, 9th in the HPDs, 11 minutes behind in the end after that 9-minute pit stop. Sam Gunston 15th, 4th in the GT2s. Few connection issues. I think he might have been able to get back out there. No, actually no, he didn't. He was in the pits for 25 minutes. Danny Cruz started on the pole, finished 16th overall, 10th in the HPDs after losing it whilst in 3rd, I think. And Michael Blake obviously didn't take the start. See if I don't think we've got any drivers for interviews. We'll give them a few minutes whilst we give them some time. If anyone wants to join us, we can tell you that tomorrow Formula Renault is back. Everything's back, really. It's the start of a new iRacing season. The BSR Formula Renault series returns tomorrow at 8 PM GMT. Not too long before that becomes British summertime, actually. Clocks go forward in 2 weeks. Then on Thursday, there's nothing on Thursday because the BSRTC is still a week away. Then our next section will be all the way on Saturday with the SRA Proto GT series, I believe, and the BSR Kia Cup returns as well, and the V8 supercars as well. The Euro V8s will be on before we go on air with the Kia Cup, and then Sunday it is the start of the new BSR Mazda MX-5 series and the IMSA Sports Car series as well. So plenty for you to look forward to over the weekend. Doesn't look like we're going to be getting interviews, does it, Conrad? So I think actually we might wrap it up. So thanks to Conrad for stepping in here today, helping me cover the action. Especially during the quiet bits in the middle, it would have been pretty dull in here. So
you're assuming I said something.
Yeah. I was totally relying on that, yeah, for the middle portion of the race. Yeah, thanks for watching here today here at Circuit Park Zandvoort. Make sure you can join us on the second Monday in April, where we'll be racing at Silverstone in the ASRC World Sports Car Series. So congratulations to our winners today in the three classes: Ivan Ferrari in the HPDs, Cohen Klopman in the GT1s, and Joris Thielen in the GT2s. Will they be on top when we head to the home of British Motorsport next month? Make sure you can join us on Monday the... this is slick. Monday the 10th of April on Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live. For me, Alan Bath, from Conrad Venter, from Sam Kumo, it's goodbye here from Circuit Park Zandvoort.